Master, did President Trump really mediate Korean peace?
Yeah, he must have mediated it because an event with such a magnitude cannot take place without, the U.S. intervention or arrangement. Even maybe he did that behind the scene. He must have done that. And then also now he mediates a Middle East peace. It happening, yeah?
Yes.
It's successful. And then he stopped human trafficking, or at least he care about it.
Yes, Master.
All this is very important for the whole world, okay?
Yes.
And whatever inconvenient for some people, like immigrants or some Americans, then we just have to try to improve it somehow, if we can.
Yes, Master.
But otherwise, to be in his position, it's very difficult. Any position, top position is difficult. You cannot please everybody.
Yes, Master.
If you please this group, then the other group criticize you.
Yes.
They expect the president to make miracle, but he's only a human. He has his own character. He has his own. I'm just talking fairly.
Yes, Master.
In fact, when he voted for president, I was surprised too, like many of you, huh?
Yes.
I thought, huh? Yeah, I think many people also did not expect that he won, right?
Yes.
No, Master.
So anyway, he won, so God must have wanted it, huh?
Yes.
Then we just keep him for now, huh?
Yes,
Okay? At least he has worked good for the world. He made peace. That means save, countless of lives. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, Master.
And that may be earning his merit to become president again. Okay?
Yes.
At least he doesn't make war. He doesn't waste Americans' life in foreign land.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
To be a soldier in some foreign land, far away from your family, your friend, your girlfriend or your wife, your kid, is no party, okay?
Yes, Master.
It's not fun, yeah?
Yes.
So if he withdraw the troops from other country, that is a bravo, okay? Big bravo.
Master.
And if he try to mediate peace within many nations, that's another bravo, okay?
Yes, Master.
And he's not a vegan. He probably doesn't have a concept about veganism. Being a business, very busy businessman, yeah?
Yes.
He lost business before
Yes, he has.
and then became nothing, and then he built it up again. So what a stamina, huh? Become, big rich person again, yeah?
Yes.
That's very, very difficult, and he won that. So he probably treat the country like a business. Whatever good for Americans, good for his country, he does it. You see?
Yes, Master.
At the expense of his, favorable view, yeah, from others, yeah, from the opposition as well as from environmental people or the humanitarian people or some benevolent journalists.
Yes,
But he has to do what he thinks he should do, for his president business. It's not easy. He's only a human, and it also depends on if he has a good advisor or not.
Yes.
You cannot just blame the president alone. the president has many advisors. You know that or not?
Yes, Master.
Yeah. And depends on what the advisors fit him. Yeah. He act according to that time or according to that advice.
Yes, Master.
If his advisor happened to tell him, "Oh, you cannot announce all this dangerous stuff, even though you knew it," and people will panic and the business will go down.
Yes.
The investments from foreigner will be withdrawn and will be shrinking in economy and all that stuff. So at that time, he would say, no, it's no problem. It's just a flu.
Yes, Master.
And he still insists that until the end, until later when some of his, assistant got COVID-19, then he began to be more into the protective field. He even wore a mask at last, yeah?
Yes, Master.
Before that, he did not. Maybe he could not think of what to do for the best. Because if you order lockdown, people go out on the street and protest for lack of freedom, for dictatorship, controlling, whatever. And if you don't order lockdown, people also go out on the street and protest, saying that you don't care about them and do not take care of the pandemic. But I remember seeing some news somewhere that he has ordered a great sum of money and signed some executive order to order some more money from the national financial resource to help people in time of the pandemic who has no job or who lost their job, etc. Maybe you can find it in the news again.
Yes, Master.
And also he ordered research to, as quick as possible, to make a vaccine against the pandemic. I saw him finally wear mask in the public to show people that they should also be protective of themselves. Being in the presidential position is very difficult to really do what it takes to please all people. I don't think you can ever please 100% the public's opinions, because everyone thinks differently.
Yes.
I have just mentioned that he signed an executive order or some sort like that. I'm not very familiar with political system and their special terms. So he's supposed to sign some executive order or not executive to help the unemployed people, especially the poorer people, during pandemic because they lost their job. It was a staggering $304 billion in aid. It's quite okay for me. So I think he really cares about his people.
Yes,
Just he doesn't really know how to express it very well. He doesn't know how to express himself very eloquently, but I feel that he's a very genuine man, very good-hearted. And United States of America is a very big country. It's very difficult to control the border, to stop the importing of the COVID-19, even if they have done it early. It's a mess everywhere. Not many countries were prepared for this magnitude of disaster. It just came from nowhere and still going. I heard that he ordered many hundreds of millions of face masks to give to people, to distribute it to everybody. But somehow it got stopped. Maybe it's one of the administration staff or some other people, for whatever reason, didn't want to cause panic, didn't want to interrupt the economy or make things worse. I don't know. Very difficult to decide sometimes.
Yes, also.
He did try to handle the best he can also, according to all the reports and the research that you can do. He got for $18 billion to speed up the vaccine for the COVID-19. He does care.
Yes.
And also, he did close the border of United States of America. And then other people also mocked him, laughed at him, say he's a phobic or something like that. You see, It's like what you say, done if you do, done if you don't.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
He did try what he can. He tried his best. I don't know if any other president would have done better in that situation and circumstances. And as you watch the news, you should know that's not the only problem. People oppose him, and the opposition also ridicule him about closing the borders, and also criticize him about closing on the immigration at the border, etc.
Yes.
And that is not to count the protests mushroomed everywhere to also go against him because of the lockdown or because of the mask, etc., etc. I don't know if anyone could be in this president's shoes and still function with so much negative going on. His own staff even betrayed him, and other writing books and negative things about him. Some of his family members against him, and even want more money from him, suing him, whatever, and many other also kind of oppose him. Make it so very chaotic, apart from all the disaster that befell the nation. Aren't you glad that you're not the president, and especially president of the United States of America?
Yes, Master.
I congratulate you and myself, at least. We don't have to be in that position. We do our work very hard and very diligently, but we do it with our heart, and we don't have to listen to other people. We know what we're doing, and we know it's right.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
All right. Now you know why I give him his award, because there are many things that he did and are still doing, which are really good for the people, for the Americans, and for the world.
Yes, Master.
You have to see a big picture of a person, what he does, is good for the world or not, okay?
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Not just American, not just a group. Yeah. And being in his position, I don't know if anybody else would do better. I really don't know. Even in Sweden, they did not lock down. And the whole Europe, they go against Sweden also. They didn't let Swedish people even come in to their country for holiday or anything at one time. You know, right?
Yes.
Because the Swedish government did not impose a lockdown. Yeah?
Yes, Master.
They just say, okay, be careful. But there is business as usual.
Yes.
So some government think like that is better. And some government think like this is better.
Yes, Master.
Some people believe that if you just let people loose, then they will develop herd immunity. Yeah?
Yes, Master.
And then it would be better, and the pandemic will be lessened and better and be gone. Oh man, it's difficult, okay? They are not clairvoyant, okay? They're humans.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
And all this also because of karma, yeah? Karma from the people, that they have pandemic. So you cannot just blame a government or a president alone, okay?
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
If you have to blame the president, then you blame the advisors also, the whole government stuff, yeah?
Yes.
A government or a presidential office or prime minister office composed of many elements, yeah? Many egos, many good and bad people and characters, yeah?
Yes.
And the president alone have to weather all that. Also difficult for him, okay?
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
But you have to look at the bigger picture, like peace. Oh, I love that, okay?
Yes.
I ask all the government and president of the world, as a world citizen, to do two things only. Be vegan, make peace, yeah?
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Well, at least he does one. At least he give me one of my requests, huh? Make peace. And it's successful, yeah?
Yes.
And for that, we have to give him some credit, okay?
Yes.
Everything else, of course, internal conflict and even family conflict, it happens because of personal interest.
Yes.
Because sometimes in the family, they make a tribal war because of for inheritance stuff, yeah?
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Or priority stuff, yeah? Okay?
Yes.
And then they do what they do, huh? Family members, yeah? But I think many of his brothers supported him, no?
Yes.
I think only one sister talked bad about him, yeah?
Yes, Master.
But it's nothing very serious, right?
Yes.
And the niece book, what talk about?
Just his about his character. She thought it was not a good character to be for a president. That's,
Okay. I don't know what character could be a president. You vote for a president, he does his job. You don't care character too much. I mean, individually, personality.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
Sometimes we have bad karma with some people, yeah?
Yes.
And of course, that will be conflict, and then people will criticize that character, okay?
Yes.
But it could be just personal karma in the past life. So if he does his job good for your country, good for the world, then you should give him bigger credit than just a personal conflict
Yes, Master.
and interest conflict.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
Long time ago, I saw one of the historical kind of film, by chance, about I think Genghis Khan. One of the people want to assassinate him. Yeah,
Yes, Master.
he already has a chance to come in because he fulfilled all the requirements to see the king. He came in, but then he didn't want to kill him, and then he explained to the king why he doesn't. He said because the king unite many races together, okay?
Yes,
Make
Master.
into one country, and very, very, so became more powerful, united, and is bring peace to the nation and make people have more peaceful life. But he wanted to kill him because of some personal revenge.
Yes, Master.
And later he think personal revenge is not as important as country's peace and prosperity. Yeah,
Yes.
because that affect millions of people. Yeah,
Yes.
and for him only his and his family personal vengeance only. Yeah,
Yes.
so he thought it's not worth it to kill the king because of personal hatred. So he did not kill the king. He come to the king. He could have killed him, so near already, but he explained to him he came not to kill him. So I don't know why he came. Huh? Yeah, in that case, you should not come because you risk your life.
Yes, Master.
And because of that, he has to be killed anyway, and he knew that, and he still did it. He just probably want to express his gratitude to the king, yeah, in such a way.
Yes, Master.
But still, because of the law, he has to be executed, yeah?
Yes.
All the same, even with all that good intention. So in many ways, we have to think a bigger, broader picture of the world, okay?
Yes, Master.
Instead of just a small space. Anyway, it's very difficult to be in his position and decide things that make all people happy. That's not possible. Even any other president could not make all the Americans happy,
Yes.
all the world happy, yeah?
Yes, Master.
So he accomplished what he can, and I think there was some good accomplishment, even if people say it is politically motivated. You see?
Yes.
Yes, Master.
But it's okay, people have the right to think like that. And it's possible that is it politically motivated because of the election, yeah?
Yes.
But at least it's successful. Who cares of what motivated, yeah?
Yes.
Peace happened, and a lot of lives, millions could be saved from eternal war in our world,
Yes.
and blood brother against each other even. And people living in fear, psychologically oppressed and depressed by the looming war, okay? Like, for example, Korean War.
Yes.
And that will be involved the war also, and that will be big, and that will be troublesome for the whole Asia, not to talk about the world, okay? If the war broke out, okay?
Yes.
Yes, Master.
So he did something good. And that's why I gave him a Shining World Leadership Peace Award. And he deserved that, okay?
Yes.
Yes, Master.
I don't care if people go against me because they're against the President Trump, they might against me too. But I get nothing from him. I don't even know him.
Yes,
I
Master.
did not even get to shake his hand or do anything, okay?
Yes.
So I'm just talking fairly
Yes.
Yes,
Master.
in the point of the world. And he's the first one to walk on the North Korean soil. You know that, right?
Yes.
at least American's president, right?
Yes, Master.
And he is the first one who made multi-Emirates country Middle East peace happen.
Yes.
The United Arab Emirates comprises of 7 emirates, meaning countries with their own rulers and laws. You know, Israel and the Arab world have been so-called eternally like enemies. And he is the first one who brought peace between Israel and multi-Arab Emirates countries. Before him, 2 U.S. presidents also facilitated peace in the Middle East, but just one-on-one basis. President Trump is the first one who mediated multi-countries peace success in the Middle East. So he deserves a big, huge bravo from everyone
Yes.
in the world. Well, for me anyway, from us.
Yes, Master.
He sent his son-in-law there even, risking his life, son-in-law's life. Who knows if it's safe to go there?
Yes.
Yes, Master.
And then he is the first one also who truly cares about stopping human trafficking. And I mean really tracking down about it, jailing some big ones already. He signed order of 35 million US dollars and another 430 million US dollars for human trafficking prevention, education, victim protection, and stronger government prosecution for human traffickers. All these order to aid in tracking and jailing human children traffickers. Others might have talked about it or some done little about it, but he is the first one who really acts strongly, fast, and seriously, and with heart put into it
Yes, Master.
to protect people and children from human traffickers. And as a big bravo, because it pains my heart also to know, to see all this human trafficking going on in the world and not much done about it. So maybe he will be also the first one to promote vegan law.
We hope so.
Who knows? Yeah, he's the first in many things already. You know, things impossible like Korean peace
Yes, Master.
and nuclear disarmament, you know,
Yes.
for Korea and all that. So, okay, let's give him some balance, yeah?
Yes, Master.
Right. Yeah.
Master, I did hear that he's the first president in generations that hasn't started a war with other country.
Yeah, in America,
Yeah.
the first American president that doesn't start a war. Another bravo.
Yes, Master.
Not only he have not started the war, he stopped the war.
Yes.
He withdrew troops from Afghanistan
Yes.
and from where else?
Iraq, the Middle East,
Iraq and Syria?
Syria. Yes.
Yeah. Look at that. Okay? The same countless of lives, human lives even.
Yes, Master.
And he care about human trafficking for children and all. If he signed so much order for almost $500 million for tracking down and solving the issue of human trafficking, then he must really care about it.
Yes,
I mean, this problem about human trafficking is not like a majority. That means that he really cares about it. It's not like he wants to do that so that people will vote for him.
Yes.
So it's truly caring, in my opinion. Huh?
Yes.
Yes, Master.
Not only has President Trump done good things about the human trafficking to track them down and eliminating it, because can you imagine how many innocent, poor, helpless children have been kidnapped and forced into this kind of despicable work just for some rich, privileged few. How many parents have agonized over the loss of their children and doesn't know what happened to them. So this is a very important law reinforcing that President Trump has done to his country as well as to the world.
Yes, Master.
I cannot thank him enough for that. Because to think about it, children helplessly delivered into this brutal beast of so-called beast. I cannot bear it. I'm just too emotional. Well, never mind about that. The other service that Mr. President Trump, also his administration had done good to humans, are to stop some of the pharmacy who has done harm to people. They mix some of the drug like opium into some pills so that people take them and become addicts even. If you take it long enough, you become addicted. The pharmacy are supposed to help people, to cure people, to heal people, but they use their privilege, know-how, and power to harm people.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
So President Trump and his administration have made these pharmacy pay, and they have stopped these kind of illegal, harmful, hurtful activities of the pharmacies. And one of these so-called pharmacies already been caught. So President Trump, bless him, and his administration. I'm sorry, I'm still so emotional. I cannot bear that people abuse children in any way at all. These are wicked evils. Okay, oh, I forgot what I was saying. All right, then you know, even pharmacy is supposed to cure people illness and help them protect their health, but instead, some of them did evil things like that to harm people. So I am glad that there are such governments exist in this world. I hope Mr. President and his administration continue to help their citizens as well as the world citizens to be on the right track. I have just found out about the pharmacy illegal drug today, 6 October. But this case must have happened long time already. Just that I never have watched the news up to recently because of the COVID-19 concerning everybody. And I don't prepare my speech in advance.
Yes, Master.
I don't do a lot of research in all this mundane stuff. Just recently, by the way, it happened. And then I scan the news for you guys so I know more about President Trump. But if you know more about what he and his government did, that is good for humans, animals, or world, citizens, or all beings of any kind, please add it on to our program with the voiceover, okay?
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
The one that I add on today about the drug, I have just found it down, so add it on. But the rest you find out, please add it on, okay?
Yes, Master.
Good government, good leader, we must support as much as we can. Thank you.
Some of President Trump and his administration's good accomplishments. In response to the pandemic, provided $13 billion in relief for farmers, increased monthly food security benefits for low-income households, signed an executive order to support the mental health of vulnerable groups, etc.
Helped to reduce unemployment for Black and Hispanic Americans to record low levels in 2019.
Signed multiple bills to benefit Native American communities, including compensation for past land loss, funds for language preservation, etc.
Enacted major reforms with the first STEP Act for the humane treatment of inmates and more support for those returning to society.
Secured billions of US dollars to address the US opioid epidemic and signed a law to manage overprescribing and abuse.
Lowered the prices of prescription medicines for senior citizens and increased affordable health insurance options.
launched a program to make expensive HIV prevention drugs free to those without prescription drug insurance, as part of the administration's plan to eliminate the HIV/AIDS epidemic in the US within 10 years.
Conducted a multi-agency federal action plan to reduce childhood-led exposure in vulnerable communities.
Signed the Prevent Animal Cruelty and Torture, or PACT Act, into law, making certain severe offences a federal crime with penalties.
Signed an executive order and other active measures to protect unborn children.
Signed an act to provide $10 million annually to reduce marine debris through research, prevention and reduction.
Signed a law to protect over 525,000 hectares of new wilderness and safeguard 400,000 plus hectares of public lands from future mining operations.
Ordered troop withdrawals from Afghanistan, Iraq and Syria.
Mediated the normalization of economic ties between Serbia and Kosovo, etc.
So at least he have some, some good point in his heart, yeah?
Yes.
If he did have a better personal background or some more spiritual education when he was younger, yeah, then he could have done much better thing.
Yes, Master.
But all the thing that he did that is not right according to the media report and the people, it was maybe because of his background, okay, huh?
Yes.
But even with the bad background, he grew up out of it and did some good thing. Good, important, big things for the world. Yeah?
Yes.
That is not to start any war and stop the war and make peace. That's 3 steps. It's very difficult to make.
Yes, Master.
Yeah. Mostly America is the police of the world and they flex muscle, okay?
Yes, Master.
And he's the one who did the opposite. Growing out of America, growing out of this kind of environment, whose race always believe in making war
Yes, Master.
or to flex the muscle. And he didn't do that. He did the opposite. So he doesn't fear. He just did what he thinks is correct. Yeah?
Yes, Master.
Number 1. Number 2, many people fear China. Just talking about it. I go further, okay? I hope you guys protect me, okay? Okay. We are just discussing things, okay?
Yes, Master.